What's going on, guys? It's After Time Talks About here with another video of the Week 3 NFL predictions part 1. The video was going to be like 33 minutes long if I did it in one video. I don't have enough storage for that. So I am going to be breaking this video down into two parts. The first 8 games and the back 8 games. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Our first game on Thursday Night Football is between the Dolphins at the Bills. The Bills winning 30-10 against the New York Jets. The offense had James Cook the entire game. The defense containing Justin Fields and absolutely shutting down that Jets offense and just exposing the hell out of Aaron Glenn's defense. I think a similar thing for the Bills needs to be done again in Week 3 to beat the Miami Dolphins. The offense last year against the Dolphins, James Cook had like 130-something yards and 3 touchdowns. I remember that game because I had him in fantasy football. The defense just needs to really contain Devon Achane, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddles, outside speed. If you can do that, I think that the Bills have a very high chance to win this game. And for the Dolphins losing 33-27 against the New England Patriots, moving their record to 0-2. The Dolphins were super explosive on offense while stumbling a few times with some Tua picks. That defense is just horrendous. So for them to even beat the Bills, I think that the offense is going to have to be just as explosive again this week, and the defense is going to have to get a few more stops if they want to win. I just don't see a world that the Dolphins can win this game if they don't do that. So I have the Bills winning 31-17 over the Dolphins. I just think that the Bills offense is just going to be too good for this Dolphins defense, and the Bills defense is going to be too good for this Dolphins offense. The first game up in the 12 o'clock slate, you have the Bengals at the Vikings. The Bengals defeating the Jacksonville Jaguars, moving their record to 2-0, 31-27. For the Bengals to win this game, Jake Browning needs to take care of the football. They don't have Joe Burrow for the next 3 months. Browning has to take care of the football, and I think that offense can just run almost 70% of what Joe Burrow had the offense at. The offense needs to get Chase Brown going and that run game going to set up the play action for Jake Browning, and the defense just needs to really contain Justin Jefferson and take advantage of that awfully crippled offensive line for the Vikings, and the defensive secondary just needs to contain Jefferson enough to get out, escape with a win, I believe, for the Bengals. And for the Vikings, they lost to the Falcons in embarrassing fashion, 22-6 against the Falcons. J.J. McCarthy is not playing in this game because of an ankle or trashitis. I don't know which one it is. But Carson Wentz and Justin Jefferson need to take over this game against this bad secondary. And the defense just needs to contain Jamar Chase and force Jake Browning into these mistakes by getting pressure on him. Jake Browning really struggles when there is pressure on him. And I believe that the Vikings defense is very good. They just can't let the Bengals score more than 30 points. Or I believe that this is going to result in a loss for the Vikings. So in that case, I had the Bengals winning this game 31-24 and a thriller to start the noon slate. Our next game up is the Texans at the Jags. The Texans losing 19-20 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday Night Football. They just couldn't do much offensively. Nico Collins had 1 catch again. He's just been awful so far to start this season. The offensive line has been terrible. The run game without Joe Mixon has been terrible. The defense has played very well the first 2 weeks. They need to get Nico Collins going. The defense needs to contain Travis Etienne and force Lawrence into mistakes. And I think Nico Collins needs to get going for the Texans to win this game. And the Jaguars, they lost 27-33, or 31, and a very winnable game against the Bengals. Lawrence just made like 3 mistakes and threw 2 picks. They need to run more play action. I felt like that in the game against the Bengals. They just kind of ran the ball, and it wasn't, while it was working, it was just getting 4 or 5 yards at a time. They weren't getting the big plays. The defense I mean, I just needs to get after Stroud, take advantage of that bad O line, and I just think that the Jags are the better team than the Texans, and the Texans just have too many holes in their roster right now. So I have the Jaguars winning this game 23-20. Next up, we have the Colts at the Tennessee Titans. The Colts winning their game 29-28 on a made field goal that was missed the prior attempt, but a penalty pushed it up on after the miss, and they got to reshoot the field goal. The Colts offense, they got like a scoring drive on every single possession this season, and they just haven't been able to punch it in. So if there's a kicker of the Colts is on your fantasy football waiver wire, go pick him up. The defense, while has been taking enormous blitz risks, I think a little bit backfired on them against the Broncos on Sunday. The Colts offense, I think in this game, can continue to hum. The Titans defense isn't that good, and I think that their outside receivers can take advantage of it with Jonathan Taylor just going ballistic. And for the defense, the Titans, Cam Ward, they've scored one offensive touchdown all year. So I think that the defense is going to blitz the hell out of Cam Ward, get him off his spots, and just absolutely dominate the line of scrimmage in this game. And I think if that happens, the Colts have a very good shot at winning this ball game. And for the Titans lost to the Rams 33-19. Cam Ward continues to kind of just play this mistake-free offensive football. Their offensive line isn't that great. They don't have a ton of receivers on the outside. Calvin Ridley has been super disappointing this season. While Alec Iomanner, who is one of my favorite prospects in the draft, has looked good so far, he's been very touchdown dependent, especially in fantasy. So I do like what I have seen. Cam Ward's ability to get out of the pocket and scramble has been very good. The defense just isn't that good to make me be able to confidently pick the Titans in this game. So I have to say, with as much as I want to pick the Titans to win this game, I have to pick the Colts to win this game 28-17. Next up, we have the Raiders at the Commanders. The Raiders losing 20-9 on Monday Night Football, the late night shit show that game was when you had to stay up past 10 o'clock. But anyways, the Raiders losing that game 9-20. It was just a poor offensive showing. Gentry just didn't get the ball much. When he did, he was having to break 15 tackles to even make a play. While Brock Bowers did look good, I think Geno Smith was one of the most overrated quarterbacks going into the game. And while the defense did play very well, they gave up a 60-yard bomb to Quentin Johnston late in the third or fourth quarter that kind of just put the ceiling on the ice. And with Geno Smith throwing, I believe, 2 interceptions and just not looking great offensively, and your defense giving up these big plays, I just don't like the Raiders' offense with the mixture of this defense in order to win games, like any games against good opponents, because they just don't have enough offensive firepower or defensive stardom. Like, their only good player on offense is, in my opinion, right now, Brock Bowers, and on defense is Max Crosby, and I just don't think that's a winning recipe for the Raiders this season. And for the Commanders, I think this should be a pretty big bounce-back game for them. I expect their offense, if Jaden Daniels plays, which I don't know at the time of this recording, they should score a ton of points in this game. This Raiders defense is not very good. They played a little bit above expectations. They played the Patriots in week 1 and the Chargers in week 2, who have really struggled. So they might be a better defense than I'm giving them credit for. But then again, this offense should just crumble to the Raiders defense, just crumble all over them and score like 30 points. And their defense should just absolutely wipe the floor with the Raiders offense. And losing to the Packers last week, I don't have a ton of confidence in this Washington team, and they didn't score a ton against the Giants. But with that being said, I expect the Commanders to win this game. I think they're a better football team than the Raiders. So I have the Commanders winning this game pretty handedly, 27-19. Next up, we have the Rams at the Eagles. The Rams winning 33-19 against the Titans. The offense was clicking. They had a solid run game, but they involved both of their receivers and Nakua and Adams. The defense just continues to have a stellar front seven in that defensive side. While the secondary isn't great, I still believe that defense is still really good. They're facing a tough Eagles team, though. This defense is going to have to really contain Barkley and don't let A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith going. You do that, you might as well sing yourselves 2-1 to start the season. The offense, they just got to get their receivers going early. It feels like when the Rams get their receivers involved early, they are a much better football team. For the Eagles, they won 20-17 against the Chiefs in a pathetic showing by the Eagles where their offense had like 100 total yards passing, like 50 rushing yards. It was awful offensively. Defensively, it felt like they had some timely miscues by the Chiefs that allowed them to stay into the game. And for the Eagles, they're going to have to get their passing going by using play action. Maybe some play action deep shots to A.J. Brown might help against this not very great secondary in Los Angeles. And then their defense, you just can't let the receivers let them get going. If you let Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua go and they start taking this game over, I just don't like this Eagles defensive secondary this year. So I think this is a matchup that they could lose pretty easily, but I don't think they will. I have the Eagles winning this game 27-21. Next up, we have the Falcons at the Panthers. The Falcons winning in dominating fashion 22-6 against the Vikings on Sunday Night Football. Their offense just ran all over the Vikings defense, while Penix did not have a great day through the passing and Drake London fumbled the football in the second quarter. It was a good day offensively. The defense got all over J.J. McCarthy and made him look like a damn Walmart employee. I think for them to win this game, they have to continue to run the football effectively and mix in their star pass catchers like London and Pitts. And their defense just needs to get after Bryce Young, contain Tetero and McMillan, and I think they can have a very easy chance to win this game. And for the Panthers losing 22-27 in pretty embarrassing fashion. They were getting stomped by the Cardinals in the first half. Bryce Young looked absolutely horrendous. He looked lost like he did last year. The defense was allowing anything and everything. But then it felt like in the second half, they locked it down on defense. And Bryce Young in this offense started clawing its way back. They get an onside recovery. And then Bryce Young in the offense shit the bed. And they can't get past any. They get 18 gifted penalties and can't move the ball to go score the game-winning touchdown. They survived They survived well enough to go for the Cardinals to make this game a little bit more competitive. The offense, they kind of just, need to play four complete quarters to win this ball game. And their defense needs to stop the run and make sure that Marvin Harrison does not get his season started on this game. So for that, I have the Falcons winning this game 30-20. Next up, we have the Steelers at the Patriots. The Steelers losing 31-17 against the Seahawks. The offense I said in my last predictions, I just didn't think that the offense was as good as they showed in week 1, and it showed in week 2. They were awful. It's only scoring 17 points. I think the offense needs to run the ball a little more often to kind of help Aaron Rodgers in that play action game. The defense needs to play better. I don't know what's wrong with the defense right now. I don't know if TJ Watt exists still. He got $40 million and has not done anything this season. And Caleb Johnson, who I heard is not returning kicks anymore, will not be returning kicks because of that horrendous mistake he made. The offense just needs to run the ball better, and the defense needs to play better. And I think the Steelers can get out with a win. The Patriots winning 33-29 over the Miami Dolphins. The offense played really well. They were getting Kayshon Boutte, Hunter Henry into the mix. I think they need to get TreVeyon Henderson going a little bit better. The defense really struggled last week against a struggling Miami team. I think the offense needs to continue to beat up on the struggling defense and give the ball to TreVeyon Henderson a few more times. And I think that Drake May needs to use his legs to scramble a little bit more and don't let TJ Watt get going. This defense, to beat Aaron Rodgers, you just got to get pressure on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is not mobile. He's not great at manipulating the pocket like he used to be able to. So I think this defensive line can get after him. I believe that the D lineman that they signed this offseason, who they paid big money, can get after him. These edge rushers, the secondary is pretty solid in New England. I think if all that plays out, you could see an upset in this game. I think New England's a better team than teams are giving them credit for. But I do not have the Patriots winning this game. I have the Steelers winning this game 24-20. Alrighty, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of part 1 of week 3 NFL predictions. I'm sorry I had to break this into 2 parts. Storage on my iPad was getting really close to full, so I'm going to have to delete all the videos and make more for part 2, but in order to do that, obviously I'll have to clear up some storage. So posting part 1 and part 2 was the best way I could do it for this particular week. The second video will be out on Friday. I'm going to find a new way to do NFL predictions so we don't have to break it up into 2 parts. And I hope that see you guys again tomorrow.